Hello, my friends. So this is going to be a little bit of a different video than I usually do. I am doing a rant, but I'm also doing a video response to a podcast called DulyNoted, which stars a couple of people who I've known on the internet for some time, Carrie and Ricky. So I'm going to be addressing their points. They were having a podcast addressing concerns that they had about the quote-unquote community. And community, I believe that they meant the skeptic community. I had opinions about this, and I also had points that I wanted to make. It was very difficult for me to make the point in the chat room, and because of the time delay, it just wasn't an effective process. This is the best way that I can feel that I can address these points. And I'm going to say, I'm just going to be quite honest for those people listening to this. I'm not holding back. I'm not pulling punches. I'm being quite honest. I'm being blunt in this. And there's a couple of reasons why I'm being blunt. First of all, because I think if you have respect for someone, you're going to be blunt. You're not going to hold punches. I tell Ricky and Carrie exactly how I feel, but I try to do it in a respectful manner. But I also want to make my point of view very clear and tell them exactly how I feel about a lot of the comments that they made during this video.
Okay, well, if some of you don't know, the main reason that I sort of decided to show up in the community in the first place, as a persona anyway. I've been a lurker for a long time, but I felt that there was a lot of deficiencies in what was going on, topic-wise, quality-wise, just thinking-wise. I mean, I first started like being a part of this covertly in like 2008.
Mm-hmm.
So I've been watching it just nosedive slowly.
It's
just ever since.
Okay, so
there's been some consistency among a very few content creators.
All right, I want to give people a little bit of context. You don't have any personal ties to any specific content creator or any specific people who kind of like circulate in these circles. So you are completely unbiased when it comes to this stuff, except for wanting to further. Huh?
Except for you.
Yeah, except for me. But I'm not. I mean, I'm not a content creator. You and I create content together, so we're one and the same. We're partners in this endeavor. I think so anyway. But
yes.
So, but I come at it from a completely different side. I come at it from, I do see this as a community. I do see these people, or I did see some of these people as my intellectual equals or higher. That's the reason that I was attracted to them in the first place, because I thought I could learn something from them. Now we just have this unbelievably violent and messy destruction that's happening in front of our eyes, and we're watching it like almost in real time with the stuff that happened at VidCon with Anita and Sargon, and it just kind of brought things into focus for you and I and a couple other people who will be not named unless they so choose to be. And so it's a bit of a conversation that needs to be had.
So there are a handful of YouTubers who meet your standards. Carrie had mentioned that you're in a position of being unbiased. You do have a bias because of the way that you are approaching this conversation. You are approaching it with the assumption that the way that you believe people should create videos is the correct way. So that in itself is a bias. I don't look up to people in YouTube as my intellectual superiors. I understand that we're all just amateurs. Okay, Ricky, this is going to sound a little insulting because I think you need to hear it. So you say that you show up on the scene as a persona because there's deficiencies in our community. There's lack of whatever you believe is lack in the community. That sounds It sounds like you're like some kind of a savior of the YouTube community. So again, I'm sorry if this sounds callous and insulting, but you kind of sound like a prick. I'm going to be completely honest with you. If you think that the YouTube community is in need of a serious rehaul and intellectual enlightenment, then bring it, okay? You make videos, you make content, you put it out, you tell us the story, you educate us, you do it.
But we're back. Okay, so I was asking Ricky, like, what is that shift that you have to make to go from academia, to this type of pseudo academia?
That's putting it lightly. Well, it's not just that, but it's even like other online communities. So like the quality or even the specific content that's discussed in any of those settings to me has a very high level of meaning. And so when I come back to sort of the skeptic community and I see things like bitching about SJWs or race realism, like when I see that shit, I just look at it and go, unreal. It's either who cares or why are you, there's so many like other topics that you could better spend your time on.
Exactly.
I don't get it.
Oh my God, exactly. That's exactly where I always come back to is, holy freaking shit, I could be talking about so many more interesting and like constructive topics than genetics and IQ. Are you kidding me? It's like the people talking about genetics don't even understand evolution, so what the fuck are they doing?
Yeah, specifically race realism, that is the fucking stupidest topic I've ever seen this community ever address. Ever. It's a total waste of time. It should be obvious that it's ridiculous to anyone with 2 brain cells to rub together. There's more important things to talk about than to sort of toot your own horn. Like, that's the people talking about it. We're superior. This is so stupid. This is not what being skeptical is. And it's sad. It's sad that the community turned into this.
Okay, so you're back to your high horse and judging the community for not meeting your high standards. And then you talk about how they bitch about SJWs. I don't think you quite understand the history of this. There is a social movement that is going on that is changing the way that people approach everything from fashion, movies, language, games, almost every facet of our society, and it's not being met with enough resistance. So the people who are quote-unquote bitching about the SJW community are pointing these things out. They're trying to show people who are watching the videos how exactly these things are affecting us. So I don't think people are bitching about it the same way I don't feel that they were bitching about creationism. So the community hasn't turned into anything. The community is the community. Individuals make up the community. Individuals make various content. If they keep talking about topics that do not appeal to you, unsubscribe and stop watching them. We are consumers. We are consumers with our eyeballs. Our eyeballs consume the product.
Yeah. I totally agree. I'm beyond shocked. Like, I'm not horrified. I'm just beyond shocked because it's like some people that I had like just a minute amount of respect for in certain topics, like, it's gone. It's completely gone because they've just done a complete 360 on the values that they stood for. I mean, not just the topics that they're talking about, but the values they stood for. And it's just like, it's just all gone to the wind and everybody's a fucking shitlord now. But they still demanded to be treated with respect. And it's like, why am I going to respect you for dick jokes, rape jokes, and mocking each other and pulling apart retarded arguments?
It's gone. That's what's happened. It's gone from interesting intellectual discussions and topics to juvenile behavior. That's this community now.
If you feel that people are not creating content up to par of what you expect of them, again, that's what the comment section is for. Leave them a comment. Tell them exactly how you feel. As for people calling themselves shitlords, this is what they were called. They took on that label. It's not like they wanted to be called shitlords. This is what they were called. Okay, so we're back to this intellectual superiority. If this is what you don't want your content creators to talk about, that's what the comment section is for. As for pulling apart retarded arguments, I pull apart retarded arguments all the time. The reason why I keep pulling apart retarded arguments, or any argument for that matter, is because somebody actually believes this nonsense. Unfortunately, you have to tear an argument down not once, not twice, not 3 times, but over and over and over again, because some idiot out there is gullible enough to not do the research and believe that whatever nonsense is coming out of some idiot's mouth is the truth.
So
Yeah, and it's not just pathetic, it's revolting. Like, it's just disgusting to see something so awesome turn into something so pathetic. I'm sorry. I know that on our streams, I'm typically like calmer, very professional. This isn't going to be one of those streams.
nope.
This pisses me off, and it's personal in that sense. So,
Okay.
fair warning.
So warnings have been issued. There's absolutely nothing personal about any of this stuff. It's just a topic that needs to be talked about. Lots of feelings are going to get hurt, without a doubt. Because that is what the basis of most conversations are at this point, is all about feelings. And I don't expect it to dissipate once we've had this conversation. If anything, it'll just drive home the point. But it does need to be talked about. So maybe any of you guys who are listening or watching, good God, or who are watching.
I like it.
You like
I
it?
like watching.
You like that? Okay. So if you're watching it, maybe you'll see something that you didn't see before, and you can call your favorite content creator into question and be like, hey, maybe cut out the inner circle politics and drama bullshit, and maybe get back to what I liked about you in the first place. Why I started giving you money. So
yeah, even if you cut out the money, so even if there's no like monetary market going on, like that kind of influence, there's still the social market.
Yeah.
So, like, I don't do this for money, neither do you.
No.
But we usually base what we cover off of what we think people will like or have an interest in, not something that's just, this is what a lot of people are talking about in the community right now. It's like, why on earth would you create recycled garbage like that? We don't need 20 videos about how you don't like feminism. Who gives a shit? Seriously. So
I have yet to meet someone who actually possesses the ability to follow a conversation from beginning to end, understand my refutations or my points from beginning to end without inserting their own bias or their own anecdotal evidence, or every single point I bring up, it's just like it's totally ignored, and then it just goes to personal. So these people are displaying the exact same behaviors that the people they are speaking out against. And it's like, then you do it, because I'm still a liberal. I've always been a liberal. I've never been an SJW. And I think that might have a little bit to do with it. It's like some of these people, they used to be pretty fucking regressive. Then they shook the haze off. And then now they're slightly less regressive, it seems. And it's mind-blowing. So,
Carrie, you just contradicted what Ricky said. Ricky had said that he is going to be biased. He's going to be taking it personal. Ricky, you're coming from this position of some kind of intellectual authority. It's transparent. Everybody in the chat was seeing it. I'm seeing it. If you really think that you come from a position of intellectual superiority, pick up a camera and start making videos. Then you can judge us. Most people who I watch. They're using examples. They're backing up their arguments. They may be doing it in an entertaining fashion, but if you break it down, they have solid arguments. And the people who don't have solid arguments are people who later on other people go and disassemble those arguments. You, as a consumer, have a choice. We don't have to sit there and tell people, excuse me, but you have to change your content because I don't appreciate you insulting the person and blah, blah, blah. If I keep seeing the same person comment where they don't approve of my content, I ask myself, why the fuck are they watching my videos? If they don't like my content, click away, watch another video. It's not like somebody's holding a gun to your head forcing you to watch my videos. The number of YouTubers who actually do this full-time as a living is very far and few between. If you have less than 100,000 or maybe even 500,000 subs, you're not making enough money to survive on your own. Everybody, including myself, we have jobs outside of this. This is a hobby. This is just entertainment. This is something that I do. I'm not making a living off. The reason why people create quote-unquote recycled garbage, in your opinion, is because everybody talks about the same topic. Whatever is topical, there is different perspectives on the same thing. So it may be the same topic, but there are different perspectives of it. So that's why you need 20 videos about how people hate feminism. And to be quite honest, I've never watched a video where somebody just said, I hate feminism, and that was the whole video. No, usually what it is they have a particular topic and then they go on to explain how feminism is infesting it and how it is affecting it and how it is actually detrimental. So it's not like they're just attacking it for no reason. There's a reason why they're doing this. So I don't know. I really am confused about why you feel like you have to grandstand and tell people how and what they need to do. The thousands of people who watch their videos. That's who gives a shit, Ricky. Okay, Carrie, so you're talking about how people don't have arguments, how they're speaking from bias, they're speaking from their own personal opinion, they're talking about anecdotal evidence, they're not addressing arguments, etc., etc. So yeah, I mean, if somebody has a weak argument, you have to address that weak argument and point it out to them. So I'm also going to point it out to you right now. Both you and Ricky are talking about your feelings, your opinions.
Like an early days thing that we've had is the anti-creationism videos, but even that's relevant to science. The reason he made those is because he's a scientist.
Absolutely. It's as simple as that.
And we're talking like 2008, somewhere in there. This guy has been consistent with his content, the quality, the point of it, like the things he addresses the entire time. And he doesn't give a shit what other people think. Do you see the only times he's even talked about feminism is when feminists have messed with his job or his life. Outside of that, that's it. He doesn't care. He's got better things to do, and good on him. So there's other people that kind of are in the category with Thunderfoot. They're few and far between. But since Thunderfoot, like it or not, is the catalyst for today's community, like he started this.
Okay, Ricky, I'm not too sure how familiar you actually are with Thunderfoot. Thunderfoot, in the past year, has made over 42 videos on feminism. First of all, the reason why they attacked him is because he addresses feminism. It's not just that he only did videos when he was attacked. The reason why he was attacked is because he made so many videos. So, Ricky, I'm not aware that Thunderfoot started the YouTube skeptic community. I also don't believe you. I don't believe that Thunderfoot started the skeptical community. I think the skeptic community was a natural progression.
I remember watching this dude's videos, like, you know, why people laugh at creationists, that series. I remember watching the first video in that. That was forever ago. And ever since, all the way through, just solid. And the reason you see people like siding with like this Sargon thing, which first of all, the idea that you have to take a side is absurd. But like it's not even like a contest. Like you look at that and go, someone who's a practicing scientist with a PhD doing groundbreaking work that takes time out of his extremely busy schedule to try and educate the public most of the time for free.
Exactly.
Just because he wants to, versus someone who's trying to live off bitching about the media or other things that just don't even really matter, like
Or Ricky, the evil Jews. Don't forget them.
Yeah, do you see the contrast I'm drawing here? Like,
Absolutely.
it doesn't even compare.
Nope.
And it's sad.
I don't think that having a PhD makes your time more valuable than someone else's time. Everyone's time is equally valuable. This is from your position of what you believe the content that people should be creating out there are doing. People are watching this video, they're commenting on it, they're enjoying the video, so he's creating content that people are enjoying. And then, Carrie, you make the reference to the evil Jews. You are implying somehow that Sargon has said something about the evil Jews. That's the end of this video. I hope that you enjoyed it. Ricky and Carrie, I hope that you listen to my points, and I hope you consider them. And I think that this is a good conversation to have.